Well, hello there. My name is Coach Henderson. I am the head boys soccer coach here at Plant City High School. And I want to put together this info video. It is August 3rd, 2021. And this is similar to the info video I put together last season with information about the boys soccer team here at Plant City High School. Part of the reason I'm putting this video together is rather than a traditional meeting that we may do, I think this is just a better way to get the information out to you guys. You might be viewing this during open house. You might be viewing this during first couple weeks of school. You might be viewing this right now in September, realizing, oh crap, soccer season is about to start and I need info about it. But I think this is better than, guys who maybe you have a bus, your bus runs late, variety of factors of why you couldn't make an in-person meeting. So this video hopefully will give you all the information you need about our program and about what our expectations are here at Plant City High School for the boys soccer team. So, who am I? My name is Ben Henderson. From this area, went to Brandon High School myself and went to Winthrop University in South Carolina, next to Charlotte. Ran cross country and track at Winthrop. I wasn't actually that great of a soccer player myself. Did play goalkeeper, but cross country and track was actually my main sport. And when I graduated from Winthrop, was the first coach at Strawberry Crest for cross country and track. Had an opportunity to do some college coaching with Florida State and with USF. Came back to Strawberry Crest, and last season came to Plant City to be the boys soccer coach. So this is my second year. A lot of my soccer experience does come from officiating as a ref. So already you may not like me as much as maybe some of your other coaches. But the one thing I will tell you, and players who are returners could tell you this, I do take a different view of the game versus maybe some of your other coaches. The one thing I can tell you in a lot of our philosophy is I do view the game in its totality. And what I mean by that is we have to understand moments that lead to victory and lead to defeat. Now that may sound basic, that may sound simple, but there's a lot of things that happen in a soccer game that don't actually matter. You may think they matter, but given the nature of the sport, we've got to understand what some of these important moments are, and it's because of that we have this philosophy of respect all but fear none. I have a belief we can win every single game. I also have a belief we can lose every single game. And so if we do the things necessary and understand how this sport works in a team sense, we can do some very good things. And part of that in my philosophy, as you will find, is staying compact in the defensive third. I value defensive stability more than I value offensive creativity. And last season, we did have a very good year. We were 15-3-1. We were the district champs. We did go to the second round of the playoffs, and we finished the season ranked 15th in Class 6A. That is out of 89 teams. And in the entire state of Florida, we were ranked 71st out of 557. The reason I tell you this is we still have high expectations on this team, all right? As you guys probably know, the team from 2018 went on to win the state title. 2019 was also a good year. And, last year, 2020, we had a good year, 2020 into 2021. But in between all that, there was also a year going 7-7. So it's high expectations, but things can also get away in a hurry. So if your intention is to come out for this team, please understand, this isn't just, oh, I woke up and thought about playing soccer one day. We are here to win. And that is the expectation that I, as your coach, have for this program. So one of the things that may be a little different compared to your club team are the formations that we use. The one thing I want to emphasize is that last year I had this vision of, hey, here's the formation I want to use. And then as we got into the season, we probably used every formation under the sun. So our formation is subject to change from game to game. And this will depend not only on our own players, but also based on what I scout from the other team. And we're going to get into scouting reports a little bit later. But this is just an example that, we use 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-1-3-2. We even used the 3-6-1. That one didn't work out so well. But what I want to emphasize is that some other coaches might go, no, I play 4-3-3, and if you don't fit that system, too bad. Oh, I play a 4-2-3-1, and if you don't fit that system, too bad. We might, but halftime, switch our shape. Game to game, switch our shape. And again, a lot of that is just dictated on you as players, but also on the teams we go against. I do have a vision, based on the players that I know are returning, to use a 3-4-3, but that is not a guarantee. And I want you guys to understand that of, my club, we play this. Well, that's great. That's your club. And that's based on the players you have and the philosophy your coach has. I want to emphasize, to be on this team, you do need to be flexible. Now, I don't want to waste a lot of time on position descriptions, because hopefully you guys have been playing and you understand what different positions do call for. Goalie, stop the ball, obviously, but do want you to be able to distribute the ball a little bit. I will tell you, obviously, we have a very good goalie on this campus in Tebow. I've had a couple other talk to me about wanting to play goalie. So if you want to try, I'm not going to stop you. For example, we had Jesus last year say, hey, coach, I can play goalie. And he was actually pretty good. And the thing I want to emphasize as well is, even though we have talented players, if you can prove your worth, we will find a spot for you. Center backs. So last year we had Zach Spivey as one of our key center backs. He has since graduated, and he is moving on to play at Southeastern over in Lakeland. So we did lose one of our key center backs, and one of his strengths was the ability to really win some headers, stay compact, and you're going to obviously need constant communication with the midfield. If you were the quiet type of player, you're probably going to struggle as a center back. Now, having stated this, this is one of the positions that, in order for us to pull off a 3-4-3, we may need one or two guys to step up who can also play center back. Again, we do have a couple guys returning who can do it and can do it well. But to do a 3-4-3, you kind of need three true center backs, and that is something that we are going to be looking for. So if you think you can play center back, that might get you a starting spot on this team. The wing backs, you have to have a little more pace to, right? Up and down the field. Maybe you're not as technically gifted as the midfielders, but you should be comfortable getting an outlet pass. Now, wing backs are different than midfielders. So if we go with a 3 in the back formation, that requires 3 center backs. If we go 4 in the back, that gets you 2 center backs and 2 wing backs to get up and down the field. There are differences versus the left and the right midfielder, especially if we go 3-4-3, is you're going to need pace to get up and down the field, but also be defensively responsible. And last season, and I will tell you, times we played 3-4-3, we didn't exactly fall back defensively like I would like. One thing I'm going to emphasize this year with our shapes is making sure the guys on the wings are falling back. So again, if you feel you have very good cardio to you and you understand positioning, left and right midfielder might be a spot for you. Central defensive mid, we had a very good one last year in Steven. Steven, hopefully you're watching this and hopefully you plan on coming back. Obviously this plays a little bit ahead of the defensive line, but kind of quarterback of the team, just stopping a lot of attacks, but also with maybe a little bit more of a scoring touch than some guys in our back line. So, again, we do have a very good CDM. But, again, as always, if you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you. Central mid, you got to be able to win 50-50 balls, but also be a very gifted passer. So, just being able to distribute. And like the CDM, looking for someone who can stop the ball kind of in the midfield and spring the attack. Again, we have some good central midfielders coming back. But again, if you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you. Center forward, you need to have the best scoring touch on the team. And this is, the forward group is the one area that we've really lost a lot of guys. So last year we had David Ruiz. David had 22 goals. If you go on our TikTok page, he had a lot of very good goals that a lot of high school players aren't hitting. And between him, Miguel, Angel M, we have lost a lot of our goal scoring from last season. So, truth be told, your number one way to get on this squad and get on the field right away is going to be in the forward position. So the center forward, ideally you are the best overall scorer on the team. Put pressure on the back line. Sometimes may ask you to be a false nine, which just means coming a little bit deeper towards the fence to receive the ball and then distribute. But the center forward looking for the scoring touch versus the left and right forward, you again would need a little bit more cardio. So if you think of a traditional 3-4-3 in, if you watch a pro game, they fall back to a 5-4-1, and it's those left and right forwards that actually fall back into the midfield and still play defense. So again, if you go, hey coach, I'm a forward, still may ask you to get back on the defensive end and help out on that side. So, tryouts. First day we are allowed to touch a soccer ball. We're going to have tryouts October 18th through October 22nd. Now, last year, we had about 29 guys show up, and I will tell you, all 29 guys made the team. So the schedule that you see here may or may not be the schedule that we wind up using, just depending on how many guys show up. In the past, for what I've been told, about 60 guys have shown up. So depending on how many show up, day one we're going to do individual drills, and this is just your shooting, your dribbling, maybe your passing. I'm just trying to get a baseline look at what I think of you as a player. Days 2 and 3, we're going to do some small-sided stuff, 3v3, 5v5, and again, this is just your chance to showcase your overall as a player. Depending how many guys show up, I may make cuts after day 3. So if 60 dudes show up, I'm probably going to cut this down to at least 40, maybe 35, just depending on how you guys are looking out there after day 3. And then day 4 and day 5 would be a scrimmage. If only 25 of you show up, then you all make the team. Because I am allowed to keep up to 25 players. So depending on the ability levels of those trying out, all 25 may not be filled because, and I will tell you this, in reality, when we get to the playing time portion, even though we can keep 25, not all 25 guys are going to play. So last year I kept everyone around. Probably that would happen, but you have to show your worth as a player. Just because you're on a club team, that's not going to guarantee you a spot. Those of you who are returners, you will get benefit of the doubt. It does not guarantee you a spot. Again, if I have 60 dudes show up and there's 25 dudes better than you, they're going to make the team. And that's just how it goes. Also understand that some of these slots will be based on the needs of the team. So if I have 30 guys show up wanting to be a forward, and I only got 10 guys showing up wanting to be a center back, you may be a decent forward, and you may be, quote, better than the guy who's trying out for center back, but he adds value to the team as the center back more so than you would add as the forward. So just understand that and again, this is all depending on how many show up. Last year we had 29 guys show up. In the past, they've said 60 guys have showed up. So this part is all flexible. But I want to emphasize October 18th, that is the first day we will be out there. Realistically, we'll be somewhere in the practice fields, possibly the game field, just depending on what football's doing and the weather. Last year we actually do day one inside, which wasn't great, but we'll see. So as I mentioned, playing time, just understand that yes, I can keep 25 guys, but in high school soccer I can still only play 11. So at any given time, 14 guys have to be on the bench. So the one thing I just want to emphasize about playing time that's going to get you on the field should you make the team, showing up to practice. This was an issue last year, and once you guys make the squad, I'll go over more expectations. Just understand, our schedule is going to be jam-packed this year, and if you go on Max Preps, you can see our schedule on there. I think I also posted our schedule on Instagram, and because we're in a couple tournaments and a couple other things, we have a lot of games, and we don't have a lot of practice. So if I do have a practice, you need to be there. Similarly, reading and responding to scouting reports. So something you probably are not used to with your club teams, and something that, again, once you make the team, please understand that is an expectation, are the scouting reports. So I try to watch film on the teams we're going to play, and I write up a whole report and actually give you guys a quiz on those reports to make sure you read it. Some of you last year just didn't read it. We're going to go over the consequences to that, but we need to be on the same page. So please get it in your head that if you're going to be a part of this squad, that we are going to have scouting reports, and I expect you to read the scouting reports. And then obviously overall ability level. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the best players are going to play. That's just how it goes. And, there's not much more to say about that. All right. Things you're going to need. All right, sorry about that. My headphones died, so if the audio sounds weird now, then that's because I'm talking to you through this. So, things you're going to need before you come out is your athletic packet must be cleared. So there's a website app that is called Home Campus. You can find a link to this if you go on Google and search SDHC Athletics. You can also go on the Plant City High School app, in case you didn't know, Plant City has an app, as well as on the Plant City Twitter page. They're going to have descriptions of how to get this, but I cannot emphasize this enough, that if you are not cleared, you cannot come out. Right? I can't stress this enough. And part of what is going to get you cleared is there's 3 videos you have to watch. There is a doctor's physical you have to get. There is an insurance you have to buy. Even if your parents have their own insurance, you have to get the athletic insurance through the county. You have no way around that. And you have to get these things cleared. And there's also a birth certificate, residency. There's several things. And the app's going to walk you through that, and they're going to tell you all the things you need. But if you wait until the last day, all right, we said October 18th is when we're starting. And if you wait until October 14th to try to get all this done, you're not going to get cleared in time. Because even if you upload everything, our athletic director, Mr. Humphrey, or Miss Lisa in the main office, they have to check and clear you. And if there's one little thing missing, you don't get cleared. And if you are not cleared, you will be sent home on tryouts. And if we have 60 dudes show up, that might keep you off the team. So please, I cannot stress this enough, all right? Until tryouts. If you're with a club team, just keep doing your thing with the club team. If you're not with a club team, you need to either be working on your own, either at the park, on individual stuff, or, and I would highly recommend this, you should probably go out for cross country or swimming. And your ticket on the team might be your cardio and your conditioning. But I cannot emphasize enough, you've got to complete your athletic packet before you are able to come out. So if you have questions about how to find me, my email is benjaminj.henderson@hcps.net. benjaminj.henderson. If you try to do Benjamin Henderson at HCPS, you're actually going to get a math teacher at Bloomingdale. He doesn't coach soccer. We are also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Just look up at PCHS Raiders FC or some form of Plant City Soccer. You'll find us. The TikTok in particular, a lot of good videos. You can see all our goals and some other silly highlights from last year. The Instagram I plan to use a little bit more this year. And if you're on Twitter, we got a lot of stuff on Twitter. Also, this YouTube channel in which you have found this video on, if you go into the channel, you can find all of our games from last year. So again, if you want an idea of what we are about and kind of how we looked last year on the field, all of our games are recorded. You can find them on there. If you want to message me directly, text the message PCH Soccer to the phone number 81010. So you're going to open your text message. You're going to type in the number 81010, like you want to send a message to that number, and then type the message PCH Soccer. You'll get a message back. Respond with your first and your last name, and then you can ask me any questions you may have. If you're trying to find me physically on campus, I float as a teacher. I do not have one set room that I am in all day. You may be able to find me in L25. That's the English TPA. Although there's a good chance I'm going to be in R102 before school. So that's one of the two places to find me before school. After school, for sure, find me in R102. My 7th period is in R102. And that will be, if you're trying to find me after school, the place to find me. So until then, like I say, get your athletic papers done. Again, if you have questions, please find us on social media. Find me in my classroom, and I hope this finds you well, and I hope that we can repeat a lot of success we had last year. Until next time, take care, guys.